Hey, just a quick message. Please head over to my YouTube channel and follow on YouTube under ericswanracing.com podcast. And it's also under youtube.com/emusic2010. It was an old username I haven't been able to change on there yet. So you can always search for Eric Swahn Racing on YouTube and go ahead and subscribe and follow and click that bell icon so you're notified when we post new videos. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. What's going on, Dustin?
Man, how you doing, Eric?
Doing great. So, yeah, today I think this might be in the high 20s, maybe say episode 28 or so of the ericswanracing.com podcast. Today I have Dustin Apgar. Welcome to the show.
Man, how you doing? I'm trying to find some good light here. All right.
Yeah, so I'd like to just talk to you a little bit. I know you're a big motorsports guy. You're big in the racing community, and I'm just looking to talk to interesting people surrounding racing and motorsports, see what's going on in their life. You had mentioned a few things you wanted to talk about, something I don't even know what it is. So you got to teach me. It's paramotoring. Is that right?
Man, I'll sit right here next to my paramotor right now. It's actually dude, this thing is legit. It's a 25 horsepower, 2-stroke bad boy. And when I say that, this thing's a Parajet Maverick, Italian made, and there's nothing like running in the sky. I mean, I've jumped out of planes in the Army. I've jumped out of Blackhawks in the Army. I've jumped out of planes in the civilian world. I've taken even my blind cousin, Pete. I've taken him skydiving a few times, and it's like there's nothing like running into the sky and flying around at your own free will, your own racetrack, as fast as you want. You create as much G as you want. You bank the thing around, and get some legit carbon fiber blades. I mean, dude.
So it not be a cheap hobby either.
Well, when you build, let's say you buy an $8,000 or $10,000 bike and you drop $5,000 into it, and then you go spend $400 at a track day, you spend another $400 on tires. Adds up quick when you go doing track day. And then if you want to go racing, I mean, you go build a $30,000 race bike. You spend, $100,000 for your race season. I think it's a really cheap sport. I'm all said and done with the investment into a brand new Parajet Maverick. I went through epicparamotor.com. This dude Noah and Nick are twins. I was amazed as to how they could teach me how to fly so quick. A lot of it translates right from motorcycle. I mean, like front brake feel, how to load the front end, how to load create lean angle with holding load. Everything direct correlates to flying a paramotor. It's really wild. I mean, to control a wing and feel pressure in a wing while using throttle control, it's all the same. It really is. And so I went through their school out in Arizona after seeing. Well, I mean, I was up in Wisconsin. I mean, I was in Washington, and I was at the Moto America round. And next thing you know, here's a couple guys racing the racetrack on paramotors. It was like, I mean, I had my phone out, Google what is this? Didn't even know what it was. And by the time I couldn't see him, I'd signed up for school in Arizona. I'm like banging on, Jason Madama's door and Chris Lilligard's door, and everyone in text, like, oh, you're not gonna do that. Like my whole Barcon racing team are like, we need you safe out here. We need to, crew chief, mechanic, and I mean, all the boys come out and ride at Indy with me all the time. So they're like, you can't do this. I'm like, oh, dude, I already signed up. It's a done deal. I'm doing this, and now that I've done it, I can't stop doing it. I mean, it's like, if the wind is right and the skies are clear, man, I mean, I send it. And I mean, it's like having a free open racetrack constantly.
And there's no
And
speed limits out there.
oh, dude, there's no anything limits. Well, I mean, like I say, anything limits. I mean, it depends on what airspace you're in. There's minor limits, and holy cow, yeah, when you really start banging the thing around and you really start using some brake control and throttle, and you have so much G and lean angle, it's the same, if not, I don't want to say better. I mean, the same feel as banking a motorcycle on throttle. It really is. I mean, it's what's crazy. It gives me that same zen feel as dragging a helmet on the ground. I mean, I've dragged my head on the ground. I can't even tell you how many times. I don't even know how many racetracks. I mean, I don't even know how many helmets. I really, it's like it's a fun thing for me to do. I like being at stupid lean angle. I like being close to the ground. I like being close to objects, people, whatever. And I like the rush of things, I guess, going by at speed. And dude, when you're going through like little tree gaps, you're right down close to the ground flying, and it's. I mean, I've raced 2 racetracks with my paramotor. I've done Indy, and I won't mention the other track. I mean, I'm not a member there, but I did happen to be flying by on a rather long, epic adventure. I did a 120-mile round trip on this, and
Oh
it's
wow.
like, hey, there's an open racetrack. And then when I saw the car spin out, and then I saw the red flag, so I knew no one was on track. I decided to do a few laps, so they were like, "Go away."
So how
um,
high off the ground are you normally when you're flying? Are you like a couple hundred feet, couple thousand? I have no idea.
well, I mean, I guess it depends. So you take off in G airspace, you fly in E or G, and which is basically everything is almost G space. I fly between like the ground and let's say 1,000 feet pretty regularly. If I'm going over 1,000 feet, I'm usually getting out of either some type of turbulence or something, or I'm going up to see like play clouds. I would fly in the cloud, near the clouds, because if you're in G airspace, you can fly near the clouds. As long as you're clear of clouds and see the ground, you can fly in G airspace, and it's rad. I mean, you're right there next to the clouds, and oh, dude, there's nothing
Yeah.
like it. And if you're in E airspace, it's a little different scenario. There's like this, like you got to be like 2,000 feet next to a cloud. You got to be 1,000 feet over a cloud. You got to be 500 feet under the cloud. So E airspace isn't quite as fun to play in clouds. I mean, it is because once you're above the clouds and you can see the ground, but at this other angle that you're looking, you really can't, and it looks like you're on a different planet. I mean, it's not even the same. It's like, where am I? I'm not. It's the raddest looking, coolest. I mean, I've been trying to post as many pictures as possible because it's
Yeah.
like, holy cow, I've experienced so much. I mean, stunt riding in Australia, stunt riding in Mexico, road racing around the country. I mean, like, I've been in a lot of places. I've done a lot of cool things, and dude, I couldn't. I mean, like, I know we're on here to talk about motorcycles, but my gosh, I couldn't promote paramotors, more. I mean, um, the team's gonna be really upset with me this year because I'm gonna have a really hard time like shutting up about paramotors. I'm like, Dustin, like
Yeah.
BarCon time, like the boys need you now, and especially this year we got a lot of things going on. I wish I could drop some balls right now of who and what are gonna be coming on the team. Um, it's gonna be a good year. I can promise you that. I mean, I'm wearing my BarCon stuff right now,
You're
and
talking about some new riders, some new names coming on.
we got some new names and some new riders for sure. It's gonna be rad. I'm so excited. There will be some press releases. My team owner, Colin, absolutely loves doing the press release with Road Racing World. I mean, the guys there are absolutely great with us. The magazine, the online, the whole road racing crew, like, awesome.
And where
Promoting all this stuff.
can you at least tell us where you do your scouting for some of your riders? What series they're racing in, maybe?
Oh, definitely. Well, I mean, you might see somebody out there maybe practicing with one of our last year 400s or not, that might help you out with letting, some cat out of the bag. But some of the series that we've been following, I mean, this the CCF series definitely is a really good series to watch. There's some young up and coming that should be racing in motorcycle in Moto America, and they will be getting a chance. Definitely young, so maybe having to wait for some, birth dates may not be. Our Archon team absolutely loves being able to grow the sport, help the kids get into it. They come out to Indy Motorsports Ranch. We train them as much as we can out there. It's a little, I don't want to say taxable, feasible, but man, it's a lot of travel. Most of our guys are on the East Coast. Our team's based out of Pennsylvania and New York, and I'm in Arizona, and so to get everyone from around the country out there to tune the bikes and tune the riders, it's a lot of money, and so it's a lot of time. So we try and do a lot of things on the East Coast too, but I will also say some of the things we watch aren't just the race series. I will say the extra effort, not just media-wise, but you can tell who's at the track putting in time. And it's nothing like seat time. I video are one thing, but true seat time and wearing, I don't want to say wearing out bikes, but when you're going tires and you get people talking about you, and we're a small community, so you can definitely, I don't say tell who's ready and who's earned it, but see who's 100% in the effort.
Yeah, for sure. And seat time is so much better than any video, because you get the feel, you get, understanding how the tires are sliding and how to control those situations. So it just doesn't, videos are great for seeing the track and learning which way it goes. But other than, feeling how it actually feels and the bumps or whatever is going on, it really matters if you're actually riding it to learn how to ride it.
And I'll tell you this, here I travel with my Grom right here. I got PMPs on my Grom ready to go. The real bars, the real tires, the real K-Tech suspension. So I travel ready to rock, all my gear, and this we train on. Most people think, oh, it's just a mini bike. They've never, I guess, pulled a Grom up next to the race bike and realized the Grom to handlebar height is identical. The Grom to seat height is almost identical. It's so close.
Yeah.
It's the pavement to rubber feel, the slide feel, the throttle control, the body English, everything is identical. So absolutely love training on the Grom. Promote it more than I can. Push it and promote it more than I.
So where do you normally ride it? Are you in parking lots or kart tracks or track days?
All three. I've done track days where I've rode in the C group, never been passed, which is kind of funny. I've rode a massive amount of kart tracks. I absolutely love the kart track out in Arizona. We do PKRA with Southwest Supermoto. Love those guys out there. It's $4. I just was there on Sunday, and I had the most epic. I brought one of my new friends from the paramotor community, and he had never rode a Grom, never done a track day there, so it was his first time. We rode from 1 to almost 5. It was like 4:40, and we saw some hot air balloons, and we knew the track was closing, so we shoved everything in the RV real quick, raced to the desert right next door, launched my paramotor, and went flying right then and there. And it was like, we have to go racing, go flying, like back to back, right here, right now. Oh my! I can't wait to be doing this out of Indy Motorsports Ranch. I was just flying out there, flying around the track. The new pavement is, oh my God! Indy absolutely spoiled us. I mean, thank you so much, CJ Graham. I mean, like, those are the owners of the track out there at Indy, and for them to, do new curbing, new pavement, it blows my mind. I mean, if you have not experienced had an Indy experience, I highly suggest you check out Indy Motorsports, fans. I mean, it's
And they have tons of runoff and good, safety there.
beyond everything. I mean, perfect pea gravel, perfect runoff. The crew's outstanding. The track's been there since about 2008. I mean, in the beginning, my buddy John Mayberry, he definitely did a lot of work out there. The runoff has beyond improved. In the beginning, there really wasn't much, but now it's everything. I mean, there's so much killer pea gravel, and the track is so wide. The curbing is so legit.
There's a lot of
2.8 miles
that are really steep or not good at all for your bike to go on, but some curbings are great and they help you out.
Well, it was nice when they repaved the track for the last. Well, I want to say all summer long they closed their track down, and dude, it was brutal. I mean, members, it was a struggle. I promise you that. I mean, here's Playland closed, and so right. But now that they yanked out all the old curbing, ground everything down, and it wasn't like it needed to be. It wasn't that bad, and right. So they, oh my God, went above and beyond. I mean, they even got obviously they have the YCRS school, and they have Kyle Wyman and a few other fast guys out there, and everyone got to put a little input on the curbing. The owners actually reached out and was like, hey, what would you like? What do you expect? It was like, dude, this is top notch. I mean, they wanted to make sure every member was not only happy, but beyond satisfied at the same point, making it to where anyone who wants to come out and play is going to be like, this is the coolest track and the best experience I've ever had. I can't.
So how long is this? How long is the track? I'm not familiar with Indy. I've heard of it. I know of it, but I don't know the layout or the distance.
So it's a 2.8 mile track, or 2.76 mile. I call it 2.8. It's a 21 turn in camber, off camber, blind, elevation, and everything. The front straightaway is actually a landing strip.
Okay.
So it's private runway, and so I mean you can carry some legit speed, depending. And rack runs safe both directions, no issues.
Okay.
I prefer running it reverse direction. It's way, I don't want to say way more challenging, because both directions are challenging.
So you like counterclockwise?
Counterclockwise, yeah, because clockwise is fun, but counterclockwise it'll definitely test you a little harder.
Yeah.
Is a little more blind. Puts you in a little more unpredictable scenarios. Man, the grip level though. I mean, anyone that wants to come out and compare grip level to any track, I'd put money down on it.
So why is Indy not on the Moto America schedule if it's such a great track? Is it like the paddock can't sustain that many fans, or the semi-trailers, or?
Again, it's a private, members only facility. It's not it's not made for, well, I mean, I guess I don't want to say it's made for public, because it's our public place to play.
Yeah.
It's not made to definitely host a large amount of fans. And usually when we host like IMR weekends, there's like maybe 100 or 200 of us down there. It's not a ton. It's definitely not made to host, thousands of people at once. That's for sure. It's
yeah.
The track would definitely host the race. The fans, the fact that we weren't allowed to have fans, maybe, maybe someone needs to talk to Indy about that. I think that'd be rather cool.
I'd like to see them Yeah, I like to see them go to new tracks all the time. Just like they went to the Ridge this year, and you said you were out there.
Dude, if it wasn't for the Ridge, I wouldn't be flying a paramotor right now. Okay, I mean, I complained a lot when we drove from Pittsburgh to the Ridge and then had to turn around and drive back to New Jersey.
That's a long
Because I
drive.
mean, I did a lot of driving because I mean, it would have been a lot better if we could have, like just stayed on that side and done California. But the fact we had to still go back to California and back, I mean, it was like, dude, we did 7,000 extra miles this year. Not just 7,000 extra.
Wow.
So I mean, my RV actually right here just hit 224,950. I'm about to hit 225, man. I'm like,
Wow.
Johnny, kick it.
I just hit 130 on my truck, and I'm like, oh no.
As long as you know how to do things. I mean, if you know what's going out and you know how to fix it, like,
Yeah, it's
no
working
big deal.
fine. No issues right now. I just gotta change the battery in my key fob. It's acting up. That's the only thing.
That's good. That's good, dude. Your trophy wall looks shit back there, man. I like it.
Yeah, well, thank you, man. This was all in my attic for the longest time, and I was like, I need to do something with it. I didn't have a room to put it in. So normally it's actually a white vinyl in front of it, and this is where I take my pictures for the photos for all the items that I sell for the business. So it's kind of a makeshift.
So you know what I did for the longest time? I took all those all my CS plaques and everything, because for the longest time I had like, man, boxes and boxes. Like when I won like the 2009 on the number one plate out here for CCS Southwest, when we had CCS in Arizona, and we no longer do. It sucks. But um, dude, I bordered my house wall. I'm not like instead of having a wallpaper on the top of the walls for your border, I
Right.
bordered every room in the house with different movies, and I even put them in order. So this one would have, dude, it's pretty legit.
Yeah, it's when you're winning and going fast, you rack them up pretty quick. I was never winning a ton of races, but I was a very consistent podium finisher. So I raced from
That's all.
I was on track from 2010 to 2015. I ended up having to get out of it momentarily because I ran out of money, as so many people do. But I'm just trying to now build my business to help fund it all. And I'm planning on maybe buying a house in the next month or two. So maybe the idea is to get some renters in there and help pay the mortgage as well, and maybe cash flow positive with a house. So maybe make some more money on that. We'll see. But I'm just trying
Yeah,
to make as
simple
money as
with that. A
possible.
house will soak up your race funds real quick.
Oh yeah, I don't plan on going back to the racetrack for a couple of years until I get my money right. But hopefully, once the business is selling enough, I can get back to the racetrack and start racing again.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
So yeah, I've been selling all kinds of motorsports products. We
I was
have
gonna say, what are
we
you
have.
pushing these days?
Sorry, say that again.
So what are you pushing these days?
So we're selling exhausts. We're selling some rear sets, handlebars, tire warmers. Bike stands, the car parts, mountain bike parts. Pretty much everything you need.
I like it. I like it. Okay, okay. What's the hot item for Christmas this year?
M4 performance exhaust systems are flying off the shelf like crazy.
Interesting. Interesting.
And
I got a friend that went R6 for an exhaust, so it's funny you say that.
I sell M4. I sell Akrapovic or Akrapovic, however you want to say it, and Spark exhaust as well.
Ooh, you know what? Those Spark, I will definitely say this. Um, that makes the most horsepower in the Ninja 400. Like that's if you don't have one of those in your bike, like doing something wrong.
So you tested them all?
I can definitely say I've played on a dyno more than most, I guess. And like Cam Jones helped me out quite a bit this past year, with with our Barcon racing team, with helping out Dominic Doyle. I mean, I was trying to do everything I could with that boy to, feed it to Rocco. I mean, dude, we were, all year long, battling that freaking kid. And, I would do everything I could possibly do, weight jack, horsepower wise. I mean, you name it. I mean, I've been protested. I won. Like I didn't. I didn't cheat at all. And I did everything I could possibly do for that kid to make him a fast, safe bike. And yeah, tested and tested and tested. We even had this company out in South Africa sending us up for us to custom test, and dude, it was a lot, man.
And so Dominic Doyle, he's had some pretty good results. I mean, he's been getting better throughout the years. And what can you say about that?
The kid's out there, busting his tail right now, dude. He's been riding all off season. He's training with Matt again. I'm looking forward to the end of January when the whole team's out to Indy. We'll be last 2 weeks of January. Everyone's going to come out, and we got quite a bit to do. So, dude, his step up from, I don't want to say, like when we went into the first round last year, we won Road America. We were on pole. We won round one. We won round two. Here we are, like, we roll into tech. It was like our first time in a tech. I don't know. It was right after qualifying, I believe. And James Morris yells out like as loud as he could, right in front of tech, right in front of all 50+ teams, in front of all the riders, in front of all the crew chiefs, everybody. Dominic, how'd you get 7 seconds faster? He was like, oh my God, dude. Like, we're getting torn down,
Yeah.
Because his time last year, or his time the year prior to then, we were 7 seconds a lap faster, which is
I thought you meant over like the race distance. I didn't talk about per lap.
Yeah, we went out and like set the new lap record and dropped 7 seconds, dude. Like,
Well,
how does someone
mistakes every corner? That's a lot of time on a long track on a 400. It adds up real quick.
Well, that, and he wasn't riding on the Barcon team there the year prior when we raced that track. So this was his first. It was his first race. I don't want to say his first race because we picked him up right at the end of the prior. But it was his first full season with Barcon. It was first start of a full season, and man, dude, I mean, he had trained all winter long with me at Indy. Here his parents are sending out, an 18-year-old kid, and giving him to me like a couple weeks at a time, and we just did a lot of parking lot training, a lot of skills training. I don't want to say we did a lot of track riding, but we did a fair amount of track riding. Most of it, though, was literally in the parking lot. I mean, just skill after skill after skill. And we'd get off the Grom right onto the 400, and he'd do the same thing, same area and everything. I mean, same little design that I had set up, whether it be the slalom, figure eight, or the oval, and he would just hammer it. I mean, like, we low-sided the 400 a few times in the parking lot. I mean, but he definitely learned slide, drift, edge, feel with that 400 and was able to full send it all season. So it was beyond worth it. I mean,
it's just being comfortable and being at that point where you're just sliding but not over sliding, and being able to get to the slide and come back is the biggest thing, instead of get to the slide and go the other way, right?
Yeah.
Control that
just
about anything.
Yeah. Once you get on that control of that slide edge, it's so, yep, send it.
Yeah, and I've been migrating over to the mountain bike world because it's way cheaper, and you still get the same kind of slide feeling, and riding and racing in the woods is sometimes feels more dangerous than riding on the racetrack because you're you're clipping trees with your shoulders and your handlebars, and sometimes hopefully not your helmet, but you know.
All right. I did a lot of that with my KTM with single track. Super enjoy A scale enduro riding. Did like a few things out in Arizona, like the Hare and Hound whatnots, and but that was like back in the day. Very much enjoy single track, and so I feel there with clipping handlebars and arms.
Oh, it's not fun, man. I need to get some like bar ends, like hand covers for my mountain bike, because I smashed my fingers the other day pretty good in a set of trees. I missed it. You know, it was really tight section between two trees, and I hit the bar right on my right on the tree, and my fingers in between. And it's still stinging from like weeks ago.
So what are you taking the chairlift up and sending it down the mountain?
No, I haven't been really doing the downhill. I ride a full suspension with a lockout for the rear, so I have a twist grip. I can make it, you know, a hardtail
Yep.
or full suspension with a twist of a grip. But just doing cross country around here, local trails. But you can still get moving pretty good. And some of these places, even though they're not mountains or like ski hills, they're pretty good hills. And I did the entire 10-round championship series the last couple of years. And you get to see some pretty cool places. And you're all of a sudden at this major hill, you're at the bottom of it. Like, who put this mountain here? You know, it's some major climbs.
You know what? Just outside of Vermont, in the edge of New Hampshire, there's probably one of the best downhill places you could go hit. I'm trying to think of the name. When I brought my buddy Sean Andarsky to Vermont, Sean rode. You know, he picked me up to crew chief mechanic for him, and I was his riding coach as well. And we killed it when he did Moto America. And so when we went to Vermont and hung out with my folks there, when my dad's still alive, he went to New Hampshire and he did some downhill there. Dude. There's an epic downhill place. He still talks about it to this day.
Yeah, man. Some of those downhills are just gnarly. They're crazy. I love racing and riding and mountain bikes, but I am not one of those guys who's going to be in the ridge line, the Red Bull ridge line, hairline. That's not me. Not yet, anyway. Those jumps scare me. I'm like flat ground is cool. I like some downhill stuff, but nothing like 50-foot drops. No, thank you.
Man, one of my buddies, he's been killing it on his gram. He's been doing like and freaking tall. He's been doing like base jumping, sending it with his bike, sending it with his Harley. Dude, he's been doing all types of crazy shit, dude. Like, man, I wish I could remember his gram name right off the top of my head, but dude, like, Kid Tall has been killing it, dude. You see him like long hair, freak looking dude with like a green guy tank on his Harley and full drift, or like dragging his elbow doing a wheelie or something, like,
Yeah.
or base jump off, dude. Like, this dude's been getting it too. So yeah, that's fun.
So I want you to talk about Swahn a little bit. He came on the scene and he was one of the guys to watch for sure. He was always, you know, entertaining. He was at the front. He was fast.
Here's some of his KTM stuff right here, actually, from the Junior Cup.
His tech stickers.
Yeah, dude, from when I was so I bought this RV off on Varsky. We toured in this RV for the longest time, and then he stopped touring with it. Sold it to me for a real deal. He still kicks himself for it. And yeah. Sean's got a really cool shop. He started out in Arizona. He's been upgrading his welding skills. Dude can lay some nickel, man. It's pretty wicked. And he rode so good, man. People still hit me to this day over what that kid, you know, like, where is Sean? Where is Sean? I'll tell you what, that kid is such a free spirit, dude. Like, he invited me over for Thanksgiving, man. The kid cooked a pretty good turkey. It was awesome, dude. Like, him and his brother and his sister and his mom, dude. It was really good to have, you know, Thanksgiving over there with some family, since I was so far away from mine. And Yeah, dude, that kid still rides to this day, man. He sends it on his dirt bike. He actually blew out his knee just recently, so I felt freaking horrible for him. He's in total limp mode right now. But the kid's got, like so many motorcycle skills. I mean, he can get on anything and just send it. Really can. I mean, dirt bikes, mini bikes, street bikes, freestyle bikes, road racing bikes. The dude downhill, he was like he legit downhill BMX dude. Like it on the trails. Eric, he'd show you a thing or two, man.
Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah, I seen him do all those wheelies and his stunt riding. He's just very proficient with the motorcycle or anything with the motor, it seems.
Well, that's what he first started in bicycles, doing downhill and doing that sort of thing. So, yeah, what you're doing now is basically where he started, and then him and his dad, when his pops was still around, came into the shop, and his dad bought a motorcycle off me for him, and that was his first track bike. Like it was rad, dude. Like so, I've been with Sean since the beginning of his road racing career, so it's been cool. I got to watch everything with him, and he reminds me of me so much, dude. It's funny. It's good. It's good.
You're showing him the way. Maybe he might get into paragliding.
Oh man! So when it was somewhere there for Thanksgiving, I just learned this, just got my motor. I was like, bro, let's go to the fly field right now. Like, it's perfect out. We just got done dinner, so his knee's blown out. So he's total gimping around with his big brace on, and his buddy Chris came out there too. And so I flew for him, had a blast flying right there. And then I have this kiting wing. It's an ozone groundhog practicing. Learn just how to manipulate and maneuver just the wing. And so you hook into a little harness and you sit here and practice on the ground. Well, his knee was so blown out, he really couldn't do it. So it was kind of gay, but I like basically went like nut to butt and like held him kind of like Pinocchio, and like I was basically like helping him kite and wing the thing in the wind, dude. It was
That's a real friend.
Right. So yeah, he really liked it. I got a feeling that he'll be getting right into this. When I flew out of Indy the other day, quite a few of the members saw it and they were like blown away as well, especially with my post I just put up, me like dragging my feet on the track and racing. I haven't even put the post up of me racing around the track yet, dude. I'm
So how fast can you get it going in a straight line, you think?
Okay, so I was not using my speed bar. I want to put my speed bar on. So the speed bar, basically what it does is it's like it's a rope that hooks basically to your feet, and when you push on this rope, it pulls the front of your wing down into like a shark nose almost, like a race kind of. Instead of it like floating, catching, second you pull it, like dives it into a more aerodynamic fly. And so right now when I went around the track, I went on a 20 meter, so I went on a smaller wing. When I go back on the 7th and 8th, I'm going to go on an 18 meter wing with my speed bar, and I should be able to push in the 40 to 50 mile an hour range. And
cool. And that's not with any saying there's no headwind or rear wind, whatever you call it.
Correct. If we have like a slight tailwind, man, my speed will pick up. And so, I mean, if there's a slight headwind, like when I did it before, it was a little windy. There were definitely times you'd come around the corner fast and you turn into the wind. All of a sudden, you're like air brakes, like.
Yeah. And the wind is changing all over the place. It's not just static in one spot. It's always moving, and there's pockets because of trees and buildings and all kinds of things that affect it.
Definitely. There's out there too with the elevation of how, like, let's say if you have like a 3 mile an hour wind come at you over the hill, on the backside it's going to be like a rotor wash. So you might get some good lift coming over the hill and some nice in, all of a sudden you to the backside, and it's like, whoa, like
Yeah.
you're out of control. It's kind of wild. So you definitely pay attention to your wind and your wind direction when you're flying, especially when you're low to the ground, because like when you're way up in the air, it's like no big deal. You have like time for things to control and fix, and usually your wing will pop open by itself. When you're low to the ground, man, that ground comes up quick.
So is this something you're sitting in, or it's strapped to your back, or I'm not sure how you're.
All right, so check this out. So it is right here, actually. So it goes on like a backpack, and you wear it like a giant butt fan. So bear with me here. I'm going to set the phone down a second.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see here.
And then you just have hand controls.
I'm going to sit in it right now. All right.
All right. That's pretty
So
cool, man.
basically put it like this and strap yourself in. And you got basically a chest strap, waist strap, and 2 leg straps. And then switch hands with my phone here. You got this throttle that straps your hand.
Okay.
Let's see if I can get a good view of this. So you can
So it's progressive, just like a lever there. Yeah. Kind of like a brake lever.
It's got a little kill switch on top. Yeah, it's basically just got a little throttle action.
It's like a hot air balloon. You got one input.
One input, one control. And yeah, it's pretty legit. So this thing, fuel, weighs about 75 pounds. I usually fly it in like the 68-pound, 70-pound range.
The gasoline
2-stroke, bro, 50-1.
mix. I see. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Mix.
Sounds like a dirt bike.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been running VP. I've been running like an Amsoil Saber, and it's been working really good for me. It's funny. Yeah, just like a dirt bike.
Yeah, and so you were doing some racing yourself, but you've switched now more to coaching, you'd say? Are you still racing?
Yeah, I guess the last time I raced, I was helping Cam Jones with his Honda setup with Moto America, and we were doing some testing in Daytona. So I raced his CBR 500 there, and I did really good. I raced it in the rain, and man, I so love listening to the announcer still to this day, because dude, I killed. I mean, I won by like a minute, and
Oh wow, that's awesome! The dominant.
I crushed it in the rain. I like things sliding, so it was like no big deal. I did really well there in all my races, and I basically won everything that I raced in, except for I raced like in the 650 class with 500 against some twins. They would just leave me on the bank, and we'd get to the infield, and I was just hunting down them. And by the time we get back on the bank, I'd usually up quite a few positions, like up to podium positions. And then we get back on the bank again, get pushed back down. I mean, dude, I came in 4th in the 650 class.
Oh man, I used to love doing that. Yeah, I did a similar thing. I would always race. I had a 600 super stock, but I would race it in both 600s, both 750s, and both 1000s every event. And I got my ass kicked sometimes, but there were so many times, in particular, it was a 750 Superbike I was racing against. It was at Road Atlanta, and he was pulling away so hard on all the straightaways, and I was right there. I got second place right behind him. I almost had it.
That's awesome.
Can be done.
Let me see if I can get it back around here. There we go. There we go. There's a little bit better background.
There you go, Ghillie Man Racing. So you're the Ghillie Man. Tell me about that. A ghillie suit? Are you a hunter?
So when I was in the Army for a few years. I was a scout. I was on a scout sniper team. I was no sniper. I was a scout.
You're a people hunter.
I was really good at pulling observation. I was airborne, and so I jumped out a few airplanes, Black Hawks, whatnots, and I never got deployed. I got really lucky. I was in between, like 98 and 02. There was like somehow nothing going on. First I made it was like tarmac. So, shout out to everyone who, got deployed and gets deployed, man. Thank you to all my and lovers and sisters and mothers out there. So yeah.
Yeah, freedom's not free. That's for sure.
Right. So, it's thankful I did my time. And but yeah, man, if it wasn't for that, dude, I'm like they just kept taking my motorcycle from me. So as soon as I got out of there, it was just like full sand motorcycles. So
they don't want you to have one when you're in the forces?
Well, I was riding a little too hard per se, I guess, riding wheelies and stoppies, and that was basically like the start of my stunt riding career. So I went from the Army to when I went to MMI, like they traded school for me for doing stunt posts for them at like MMI UTI events. And then
that's a good deal.
And I started right. Then I just started touring more, like doing Mexico, doing Australia with like the Clear Channel deal, like with Darius and that whole crew was just, Tony, the whole. I mean, like I can't even tell you, like there's so many like rad people in the stunt industry that I got to ride with and tour with. It was just so cool. And having my dad like go to Australia with me and like win a title over there in front of him. I mean, I after that, it was basically like time to find something new in motorcycles, and that's when I started road racing. So,
let me backtrack. You said you won a title. Was that you won a title in stunt riding or like a competition?
Yeah. So like Clear Channel Entertainment paid us to paid our way to go to Australia. We toured Australia up and down the whole Golden Coast. They had like 3 huge stunt events sold out. It was wild. We had to sneak into the country with all our gear and all our stuff because no one was on a work visa. We were all on like tourist visas. And when we got there, they pulled us all aside and basically arrested us for like 12 or 13 hours. And because when we pulled up like the ticket box office things, they were all sold out, had all our names. It was like, no, you guys are the entertainers. Like, no. And so I did well there. I got like a third, second, and like the one big one at the end there, I won it. And I mean, I took come home with like a huge international freestyle freaking trophy. Like the first, it was literally like it was the first international moto freestyle event. Like, how do I win it? Like no shit.
Yeah, the first one. That's pretty crazy, man. Are these all different, like unique playgrounds for you, or is it just basically a big parking lot? Big open.
Oh no, like when we were in Australia, we were at actual racetracks. I mean, like Caldwell Park and like I mean, I wish I could. We went to 3 main racetracks, one in Queensland, one in Sydney, one in Melbourne. I got to do I got to be a monkey man with one of their high-end race. I had 2 high-end racers there. I guess one of them was like their national champion down there, and that was when I first got very first drag, dude. This is where my idea came from, actually. And dude, because I was monkey man it, right? And my head is like this high off the ground, dude, and the dude's carrying the inside tire like a foot or 2 off the ground. And oh, dude, it was wicked. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, helmet, sneakers. Okay.
No gear.
And dude is okay, helmet, sneakers, shorts, t-shirt. And
Yeah.
the dude is sliding the rear wheel, carrying the inside tire. I am completely extended. The inside tire is like around my waist, so my whole upper body is almost touching the ground. My head would be like hitting the grass. Dude is so unreal. Like the guy was really good at riding a motorcycle. I mean, yeah, dude, we did so many laps. He even pulled over. He's like, "Are you going out?" I'm like, "Let's keep going." He's like, "Bro, I need a break." I mean, like, I wore the driver out, which he even told me, he's like, "Man, you can be my monkey man anytime. You're really good at this."
Yeah.
And that's where I first like thought of, I can lean this far, I'll drag my helmet. And so when I got into road racing, and then it was like I started doing really good with road racing. I started kind of adding my stunt riding into it when I became a member out at Indy, where I could kind of like actually release my inner self. I mean, when I say that, it's like,
yeah.
dude, you go to these track day events and track organizations, and dude, I mean, like I've been to literally, I was at a race event at in race practice at a CCS race event, and Tech came over to me in the morning and told me I was riding too fast in practice. It's like, wait a minute, we're at a race event. Get the fuck out of my pit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm sorry, I'm swearing your deal. But yeah, it was like, oh my, I get out of my pit, dude. Like, you're Tech and you're telling me I'm riding too fast in practice on race day.
I could see if it was maybe in the pit lane or, a cold pit.
No. Yeah, no. Riding too fast in and because even when how it's set up, you're like or like advanced. CCS was so long ago, but it was like an A, B, C. Like you only had like your C, like your CC of motorcycle and like your expert. So it's like, this is the fastest of the fast group, and you're telling me I'm riding too fast. So that's the second I went to myself, I can't ride around these people, and I need to basically have an open track to myself. And if I'm scaring people because I'm going by them too fast, race event, like, I'm sorry, like, so I became a member out of Indy. From then on, it was like, oh my God, I have my own playland. I can do whatever I want. So I got my motorcycle, started getting in cars. I mean, go whatever I could race on the track. I go there and play. And now I'm doing with my paramotor too. I mean,
you don't get fined for wheelies,
dude.
You don't get
members line up on the patio, and I'll come on turn 2 and pick it up on the straightaway. All the way on the first straightaway is long. Usually, maybe loop it a couple times, pull the set it down in a turn 3, throw into turn 3 pretty good. I like coming out of turn 2, flipping around backwards, stand up and drive my motorcycle backwards down the front straightaway, give a little wave, I mean, dude, we're a stunt rider here, right? I mean, like when Evil People was alive, he paid me, to ride his bike, for him for quite a few years. Where I ride his bike, wear his gear, and I come out and blow the place apart, dude. So I deal with things too, and so I like when I have my own playland where it's like basically closed wheel, open wheel.
Hey, I was just telling myself I wanted to do an ad for my business of all the products that I sell, because there's so many that we've been adding over the last few weeks and months and years that it's just hard to recap them all. So real quickly, I'm not going to remember everything off the top of my head, but some of the things that are online right now that you can buy are Akrapovic exhausts. We have Spark exhausts. We have M4 performance exhausts. We have Moto suspension setup tools. Version 4, the latest one that's out. Unfortunately, there's a delay in shipment again from overseas, but those should be back in next month or two. We also have Jim O'Neill. So O'Neill motocross gear. We have Azonic. We have Blur Optics. which are motocross goggles that have a really cool feature that they have a magnetic connection for the goggles, so you can swap your lens really quickly with it's just magnetic, so there's no tools involved at all. We have OGO, which is, as everybody knows, the luggage and backpacks and everything, which are awesome and have gear bags for when you're traveling, which as you're racing you're always traveling. What are some other? Azonic, maybe I mentioned this, but Azonic mountain bike parts. Not everything is listed for this brand, but it's online very soon. Let's see, some of the other brands we have Moto D, so Moto D Racing, and they have tire warmers and rear stands, Bonamici Italian sport bike parts, and rear sets, handlebars, clip-ons, and we also have Driven Racing. Driven has all kinds of hard parts, so fuel caps, sprockets, things of that nature. Also for Moto D we have IRC quick shifters, so up and down blippers, which are very handy to save you time on every lap. We also have STS, so sport bike transport stands for your trailer. Those are pretty handy. Some of the other brands would be Easy Grip tank grips, so for every modern sport bike we have tank grips available. Let's see, we do have used takeoff tires available in Michelin. I think we have some Pirelli and Dunlops left, and I think we have 7 more that I haven't even inventoried yet. Let's see, so there's a lot of stuff that we sell. We sell over a couple thousand items. We have access to well over 10,000 products, but not all of them are listed for sale yet. Some of those that aren't listed are the car parts that we have. So we have Carvin, we have Cosmos racing wheels, and Carvin would be exhausts for cars. Cosmos racing wheels, wheels for cars and trucks. We also have BC Racing, which are suspension parts. Angry Acorns is Subaru wide body kits. And these are all going to be for sale on my website, ericswanracing.com, and shopesr.com. And I could keep rambling on for a while of all the things that we sell, but we're just trying to get it all listed. It takes a long time to get all this stuff listed properly for sale with the right descriptions and everything. So please be patient, but we're working on it and trying to get podcasts out as much as possible. So trying to provide some original content for you. So let me know what you think, and we'll go from there. Thanks for listening and watching. Peace.